this team really does care, and we want to win, and it hurts us when we lose because we know how much energy, I mean, we put into it, the fans put into it. So yeah, I think that's when we show that passion on the field. It's because we care.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of No Other Pod. I'm Jimmy, along with my good buddy Daniel Kooser. Dan, what's going on, my friend?
What's going on is we got a special guest today, dude. I can't sit still. I'm too excited. I'm too excited to talk to this man. It's weekend was good though. Let me tell you, man, nice and hot, brother.
Oh,
I don't know. Did you get out and do anything?
What did I do this weekend? I don't even remember. I don't actually think I really did anything. I wasn't able to go to the current game Friday night. Unfortunately, I watched from home. Thankfully, they pulled out the victory before the break here. But I know our producer Nick went out to the current game and saw that win, so he held it down for No Other Pod. So, but yeah, pretty low key weekend for me.
All right, man, good. I had to do a murder mystery, and it was a one-off, and I had to memorize a script. And if you think memorizing things is hard, do it for one night. Memorize something for one night where it doesn't matter ever again. Yeah, it is. But now I'm on a Groundhog Day, bro. We open in like 2 weeks or something like that.
That's crazy. That was fast.
It is crazy. It's a lot, let me tell you.
Is it hard memorizing like multiple shows at once?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do love a challenge though. I do take a challenge, and instead of letting it beat me, I do like tackle it. But I will say this is unlike anything I've ever done, because like the scenes are like the same, yet there's minor differences. And it's like, oh shit, man, am I on scene two of this scenario or 3? I don't know.
That would be
it's a mind. I come home with the brain pain. Definitely, the head hurts a little bit.
Your brain's gonna break after a month of performing these shows.
Yeah, but we're off book now for the first time yesterday, and I bet I was 90% good. I bet I was. That ain't bad.
That's awesome.
It's better than my high school. I'll tell you that. I was more of a 70%er guy.
Hey, that's good. 90%. That's an A.
That's an A, bro. I'm feeling pretty good about it. So come see me.
Yep. It's a good week for sporting fans. We got Jansen Miller on the podcast today, and then we got 2 games to talk about, which we will talk about here. Obviously, no game to recap this week because they were off, a little break. The Gold Cup's happening. U.S. men's national team is advancing out of the group stage somehow.
We talked some massive shit, by the way. We can just go ahead and eat crow right now because we suck.
Because what we talked about with the U.S. team?
Yeah, with the U.S. team. We weren't feeling good about it at all, really. And
well, I'm still not feeling all that great about the chances of winning the Gold Cup, but
at least you get out, you win your group is kind of cool. But with 2 games this week and nothing to talk about last week, really, Jansen Miller, Christmas comes early, dude. This is about to be fire.
He's such a good interview. And, I've had the chance to talk to him for, a handful of times in post-game locker room situations. And I think this was your first time talking to him directly. He's just
it was
so much fun.
Now, I'll just say right now we're like best friends. It's crazy.
It's rare for a rookie to have the ability to speak as naturally, especially on a podcast or a media setting, as much as he does. So, whatever, I don't know if it's that Indiana education or what it was, but he's prepared well for situations like this.
If I'm 22 years old, bro, I don't want to talk to nobody. No. Like I'm not interested.
No.
And this man talks to us, so you'll get ready.
It's pretty fun. There is also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, there is, at least as of now, as of this recording, still scheduled to be a big WWE event this weekend that I have been looking forward to. We'll see if it still happens. It's supposed to be in Saudi Arabia.
Is it not supposed to happen? Like, you don't think it's going to happen?
There's questions about if it's safe to get over there, given everything that's happening over in the Middle East right now. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming it's still going to happen. But, I don't know. This is CM Punk and John Cena. This is a big one.
Oh, my God. I'm so annoyed. I I don't know this whole CM Punk shit. And John Cena. I'm not even that excited for him to wrestle, man. I'm more excited for like King of the Ring. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it is funny because CM Punk's always like, I'm never going to wrestle in Saudi Arabia, and now he's heading over there, and I know that,
Bro,
yeah.
There's some things that I would say like I would never do, but if you flash massive amounts of cash at me, I'm going to change my tune.
It gets hard when there becomes a point, I would guess, for everybody where it gets tough. But
I could remodel my bathroom next week. All right, let's do this.
But Cena did have his quote unquote pipe bomb promo back at CM Punk this past weekend on SmackDown, and it was pretty good. It was I haven't been a big fan of the Cena heel run this entire time. I think it's been kind of lame. That was the best thing he's done since he's returned.
Yeah, no,
and it wasn't really close.
Not at all.
So it's it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, there's in the soccer world, there is the United States versus Costa Rica later this week in a quarterfinal match. Don't know yet who they're going to be facing if they beat Costa Rica, but the way the bracket's setting up, it could be United States versus Mexico in the Gold Cup final, as we've seen time and time again before. So
wouldn't that be fun?
For as touch and go as it was leading up to the Gold Cup, and it was certainly some big speed bumps for the U.S. men's national team. They've at least managed to win their group. Now, they haven't been super dominant. They only beat Saudi Arabia 1-0. They beat Haiti 2-1. They beat Trinidad and Tobago like 5-0. But 3 wins, that's about all you can ask for. But hopefully they can start looking a little bit more dominant, especially if they're going to try to make a run next year in the World Cup. But
oh, yeah, totally.
We'll see. They did have the kickoff for the World Cup here in, I think it was in Overland Park this past weekend. So pretty cool. Right. Less than a year away from the World Cup being in Kansas City, which is
pretty wild.
We don't know.
The way I'm hearing some tickets might cost, I don't know if I'm going to even try, my friend.
I will probably try to get a media credential, and I think that it is a pretty long shot that I get approved, but I'll try. I'm not going to be able to spend $1,000 on a ticket or $500 on a ticket. That's crazy. I mean, that's
very much is. Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, it would be awesome if, you're a sporting season ticket holder and a current season ticket holder. So there may be opportunities through there to get access. I don't know. I'm guessing.
It's possible.
So we'll see. If you're a Chiefs season ticket holder, I wouldn't be surprised if you'll have access to tickets since it's at Arrowhead through the Chiefs. I am none of these things because I am not obviously a Chiefs season ticket holder and I go to the games as media, so I'll probably have less of a chance, but we'll see. There may be hope for you yet, but we'll find out soon.
Yeah.
So, well, let's take our break here and let's kick it to our interview with Jansen Miller, because Jansen is an awesome person to talk to, and he touches on a lot of really cool stuff. So we'll take our break, and we'll be right back with Jansen Miller.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network. Emprise Bank has been with us from the beginning. They were our first network partner, and they believed in the vision of what we were building from the start. I can't speak to any other banks or companies and how they operate, but I can tell you from personal experience and based on the growth of the network you're listening to right now, that if you have banking needs, call our friends at Emprise Bank. We've worked with so many great people there over the years, from Vicky and Aggie to Andrea, Lori, Jackie, Deb, and Aaron, and not to mention so many others that not just supported KC Sports Network, but supported our KCSN Foundation as well. But the best thing that I know is that if I have a question or a problem, no matter how dumb the question is, I know who I'm going to call and who I'm going to talk to. And I know that I'm getting an answer from someone that I can trust. And I know that person is there to help us. That's why Emprise Bank has always been and continues to be our partner in Possible. And they can be yours too. You just have to reach out. If you have a banking need, whether it's business or personal, hit me up. I will connect you directly with the same people that have helped us build KCSN. And that's our friends at Emprise Bank.
Folks, there's nothing that beats relaxing on a hot summer day and watching some baseball. And there's no simpler way to get in on the action than by downloading the Pick 6 app from DraftKings. It's crazy simple. Just pick more or less on the stats for 2 or more of your favorite players, and boom! boom, you're in the mix for big cash prizes. And the best part, Pick Six is available right here in Missouri. Don't miss out on the fun. Don't settle for a smaller payout. Switch to Pick Six, and right now, new customers can get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Here's what you got to do. Download the DraftKings Pick Six app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick Six from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Bonus picks expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Welcome back, everybody. As promised, we're here with a very special guest, new this year, Sporting KC defender, Jansen Miller. Jansen, nice to meet you, man. How you doing? Thanks for being here. What's going on?
Doing well. Just got done with training. Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun, man. It sounds like you're got to get waterlogged out there because it's Kansas, baby.
Yeah, it's hot. I mean, I'm used to it being from St. Louis and being in the Midwest and college and stuff. So it's nothing different, but you never get used to it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're itching to get out in it every day and run a 10K for training.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Kind of just want to jump into it with you here. Take us through your soccer journey, if you will. St. Louis obviously has that extensive soccer history. You're from a suburb in St. Louis. Were you always into soccer? I mean, what did your life shape up to be with soccer?
Yeah, so I mean, I started playing it when I was probably 4 or 5, along with baseball, basketball. But yeah, so I started when I was 4 or 5. Played all 3 sports until I was into middle school. And then to be on the academy team in St. Louis, I had to decide if I wanted to play the other sports, or just go fully with soccer. So I went with soccer, even though I really like basketball. But I thought if I was gonna go to college and make a career out of it, I mean, I'm not 6'6", 6'7", so probably thought soccer was gonna be the best bet. But yeah, so I played for St. Louis FC, which was the USL team at the time, their academy. Then went to Xavier, then went to Indiana, and then ended up here.
So I have to ask, brief detour, if you're a basketball fan and you went to college in Indiana, are you a Pacers guy?
I went to a lot of games. Basketball in Indiana is massive, especially where I went to school. A lot of history, a lot of national championships back in the day. But yeah, so I went to a lot of Pacers games, so it's pretty cool to see them go far. And I know they lost in Game 7 last night, but
yeah,
it was cool to see a mid-market team do that well.
I was pulling for him. It's always tough when you see a star go down with an Achilles like that, but it's a good game.
I think being a professional athlete now, I feel a lot worse for those players that get injured, because before, you see them get injured, you don't really think much. I mean, you're like, oh, I feel so bad, but now that I'm in it, being in this profession, you get hurt. If I were to get that injury, you're out for a long time. I just couldn't even imagine mentally how that would be. Yeah, I feel for them a lot more.
See, now Jimmy's an LA boy. That's where he was born and raised. He doesn't understand the Midwest. Seeing 2 Midwest NBA teams in the finals with no LAs, no New Yorks or nothing. Suck it, Jimmy.
No, that is amazing. I do love pulling for the quote unquote underdogs. Yeah, it was nice to see no Knicks, no Lakers, none of that.
Yeah,
man. Speaking of the underdog shit, though, we've enjoyed rooting for you, man. Draft picks don't really get a whole lot of playing time, on average.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go down to the second team and work their way up to the first, and you're thrown in the mix, man. Are you just having the time of your life right now?
Yeah, I've said it on quite a few like podcasts and interviews now. Like I haven't really had time to just like take it all in, you know. I've tried to. It's like my teammates from back at college are like, dude, like you're playing all these men, like that doesn't happen. Like that doesn't happen with draft. It did 10 years ago because there's a lot more emphasis. There wasn't the amount of like people from Europe and other countries, but yeah, it's I've kind of taken it in stride, and I feel like yeah, I think at the end of the season I'll probably sit down and kind of take it in more. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I mean, getting to play with some of the against some of the best players in the world with top players. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess the other week we played LAFC playing like Giroux and Lloris. I'm like I was watching these guys on TV, like playing the World Cup, winning World Cups, and then I'm just shaking their hand after the game, like playing against them, like on the same field. Like, so I think after things like that, you're like, wow, like it is, yeah, it's insane.
For sure. So take us through draft night as it's happening. You know, you had that quote where you're like, I was there for St. Louis. If they wanted, like, they're taking me. Did you know that SKC was interested in you? And did you have any inkling that as this pick was coming up, that you were the guy?
I had absolutely zero idea because I went to the MLS Combine and I probably had 6-7 interviews with teams that were like later, like pick 15 and later. And yeah, I did not meet with Sporting. So going to the draft night, I just sat down because I'm like, there's no way I get picked before 15. If like, I didn't even know if I was going to get picked on draft night, honestly. Like I was going in no expectations. So I sit down and I get a phone call from Kansas. It says Kansas City, Kansas. And I was about to hang up because I was like I wasn't really thinking, like I knew I was going to get it, but like I'm like, wait. And then I answer the phone and it says, hey, this is Peter Vermees. And I'm thinking, like, cause obviously everyone knows who that is. So like, he's like, hey, we're going to pick you at the 8th pick. And I'm just like, literally just silent. Cause I'm just like, what? And he's like, well, are you excited? I'm like, well, yeah, of course. Like he was so confused because I like wasn't saying anything. So
he's like, never mind.
Yeah, he's like, never mind. He doesn't want to come here. We're gonna do something else. So then I walk out because like I was a bunch of family and friends, and they see on the screen because it was like a little delayed. And yeah, they're like, because nobody expect, like I thought like the teams I met with like Portland, Salt Lake, all these teams that were so far away from me, and then to be right down the road, like the rival of my city, like I love that. Like I mean, I'm sure you guys see like the villain type. Like I love to like, it's fun for me. Like it was very cool. Like I didn't want to be in St. Louis. If they picked me, it was like yeah, it'd be, I guess at that moment, cool to be at home. But like now that I'm at Sporting and getting like, this is my kind of home now. Like I absolutely love it. Being 3.5. Like I didn't want to, like if I was in St. Louis, I probably would have lived at home, like just saved the money. But like, yeah, I'm super happy to be here.
Dude, I mean, you've earned the respect of the fans, the city. I mean, I think they've embraced you as well. Jimmy and I, we both watch pro wrestling unapologetically, and we love the heel. We love the heel wrestler, man. You're out there doing this shit.
Yeah. It's funny because I came in preseason. I'm like, I'm not going to let my full personality come out. Like I'm going to try to just keep it low key. And then, which I did during preseason, but then when I started getting some minutes, doing pretty well, and I'm like, and then it just naturally came out. And especially these playing against all the other teams' DPs and like these top players, like I love that. Like I want to go against them. So like when I can try to get in their head or make a big play, like I'm gonna let them hear it or let the other fans hear it. Because I feel like it's fun. It gets, as you said, the fans, like it's exciting. Like I love when I was watching professional or a team I liked, like I wanted the players to show passion, that they cared, because like I really care about winning. I really care about this organization, and like you see, it's for me as like an American kid from St. Louis, Midwest, like seeing all these fans come out. Like I was in the stands for St. Louis City game last summer. Like I was there just eating a hot dog, watching the game, and then now, and I know how much like I was into the game. So like to kind of give back, it kind of stinks that we're not doing as well we want to because I want to win so badly for the fans. And hopefully we can make a run in this back half of the season. Lots of time to go.
Yeah.
Sorry, I started rambling, but
No, please do. I love that you're able to be yourself. You know what I mean? Let your full personality out. You just teed us up for the next question on the list here. You said you were sitting in the stands just a year ago, cheering for him, just diehard red, if you can call it red, I guess. I don't know what it is. Maybe you were cheering for St. Louis when Logan broke their hearts in the playoffs, and now you're playing with Logan. What is that like exactly? I mean, because I can't imagine just switching my fandom so quickly like that. Not that you have a choice, you know?
Well, and in full honesty, I left for college before St. Louis City became got there. So I wasn't at the game as a fan. Honestly, like my parents had season tickets because it was a new exciting thing. Like my parents are big soccer fans. So on draft night, as soon as Sporting drafted me, my parents actually canceled their season tickets right away. And like, F St. Louis, we hate St. Louis. I absolutely, it's so funny I'm from there, but like I absolutely hate St. Louis now. Like, so I was never fully like, people are like, oh, like when I said Kansas City's better before the St. Louis game, they're like, oh, like I saw on social media, like, yeah, Jansen's like rooting against us. We made him or something, whatever. I'm like, I wasn't even there when you guys became a team. You guys could have picked me, like all this stuff. Like, it's funny to me because like I don't owe them anything. If anything, I owe St. Louis FC when the USL team, which is completely different. But
Right.
But yeah, so no, it's fun. Those games in the coming years will be very fun as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's awesome that your family has fully switched. Do you have like high school buddies who are like big St. Louis fans who like they give you grief when you're talking with them?
Yeah. So when I got drafted, I got texts like, I just don't know if I can wear that the blue. They've got St. Louis City stuff. And as soon as I think a couple months ago, I did like a big order of jerseys and gave them out to my friends. So they came to the St. Louis City game in my jersey. Because I was like, I'm not talking to you if you wear St. Louis City. And one of my friends wore St. Louis City and they wanted a picture. And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Oh, man, you set the rules. You said the rules and they broke it. No picture for you.
Yeah.
Man, what's been like, I feel like this is the question for every young player coming into the league, but what's been the biggest adjustment for you from college soccer to Major League Soccer?
That if you get beat, you are going to get punished. I mean, they're going to put in the back of the net. In college, you make a little mistake, you take a wrong step. Like, college attackers aren't going to finish it every time. Here, you make one little wrong step and it's going back in the back of the net. And I've learned that the hard way a few times this year. I think just trying to learn from it. In college, I feel like I'd maybe dwell on like making a mistake or something and they score. But here, like I'm just trying to learn. I mean, it's my first year. So yeah, it's a big adjustment. The attackers in this league are unbelievable. I mean, they're bought for millions of dollars. So it's a little bit of adjustment versus playing college kids who are worried about their finals that are coming up. And here you're putting food on the table for your family. So it's a little different.
And there's no time to dwell here, man.
Yeah.
And for the mistakes you have had, then you make up for it with some insane goal line save. You know what I mean? It's
yeah. No, it's I'm happy because going back to Portland, I made a couple mistakes. It's nice to be keeping the ball out of the net now on some plays versus putting it in the net on that one. But yeah, I'm learning. I kind of have to tell myself I was in college 6 months ago. It's a big step. And I feel like I'm doing well, taking it in stride, learning, just trying to be the best I can. So
I've heard you talk before a little bit about sort of like your process of learning from those mistakes and making sure you don't make them again. And that Kerry as a coach is a big part of that. So can you talk about, obviously there was the transition with the coaching change, but focusing on Kerry specifically, what has he meant to you throughout this season, and how has he helped you as you've been thrust into a starting role probably faster than anyone expected?
Yeah, he's been massive in helping me. He talks to me almost every day, one-on-one, helping me out. And the biggest thing for me is with young people, I feel like young players, you see them make a mistake and they're not in the lineup the next game. They're kind of pushed to the side, which is, fair. At this level, there's no time for mistakes. It's at the end of the day, it's about winning. So I think it really showed when I made that mistake against Portland, which was my, I think, second game or third or fourth game, second game with him. And, he could have easily just put me on the bench and maybe had me learn that way. Like you can't do that, but play me the next game against San Jose. And like just him showing that trust gave me so much confidence. And I think I had my best stretch of games. There was like 4 or 5 games in a row that I was playing very well. And I think just learning that those mistakes aren't going to end my career, because in full transparency, after I made those mistakes, I'm like, well, my career is over. Like, that's literally what I was telling myself. I was like, it's over for me. And as a young guy, it's hard not to think that way, but he's just kind of like, you're good. Like, and then I play a good game. He's like, look, like, you can do this. Like, and you've done it consistently. Yeah, I've made a mistake here and there, but majority of the time, he's like, you've been good. He goes, it's also your first year. So it's kind of giving me grace. And it's like, obviously, he's new to the head coach role too. So like he's giving me the time to show myself on the field, like he doesn't have to do that. So it's very cool the way he goes about his work and how he is with us. Because, a lot of places I'd maybe still be on the bench and I wouldn't have been able to grow and now be a lot better than I was 3 months ago.
Man, so you absolutely expected to be on the bench after that, huh?
Yeah, the human nature has negative thoughts. Most humans, that's kind of the way you think. But yeah, and then now I'm way better than I was three months ago.
Well, and you got good people around you too. I'm sure you know the guys are all good. They're going to pick you up and not let you stay down.
Exactly.
Who are your bros on the team? You got any guys that kind of taking you under their wing, or you talk to them the most?
Andrew Brody. My bro Brody. Mason Toy. He went to IU.
Nice.
So kind of just having that connection. And then Ryan Shaway, another draft pick, with me. So we already had that in common. And actually, probably one of my favorite guys of the day is Dejan Joveljic. He's a funny guy. So yeah, the thing is, I like everybody and I get along with everybody. I'm kind of a jokester on the team. So yeah, I'm always poking fun at myself. I just like to make people laugh. So yeah, it's fun for me.
Good.
When are they going to give you the keys to the aux cord for the celebratory music after the game? Because I think that's the same playlist Daniel made like 10 years ago.
My aux is absolutely horrible, so I don't want it. But yeah, I'm sure once I get to whatever year he's in, we always joke, like, I think he just hit like 250 regular season games or something. And I was like, yeah, I'm at 15. I'm getting there. Or I always said, Roger Espinoza, I always mess with them because he had the 15 and now I'm 15. And he had like 399 appearances. And I'm like, I'm coming for that. I want, like, that is my goal, to get to 400 to beat you. And he's like, well, you got a long way to go.
Just don't get the red cards.
Yeah, the red cards. 13. I actually just saw some podcast about him talking about 13 is crazy. That's asking me. I think if I got the 13 Reds, I just wouldn't be in the league. There's just no way. That's my first thought. Is like, how did he keep play? How did they keep playing? He was just that good.
Having that FA Cup under his belt helps.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. Man, Jansen, what's been you talked about some moments in games this year that have just been like holy crap moments. Is there a biggest like pinch me moment that happened? I mean, Messi, Marco Reus, anybody else?
Bouanga, I think seeing him actually close up, like
Too
on the
fast.
field, he's electric. But it was fun for me. I mean, I think I was 1-on-1 with him a couple times and just like doing pretty well against him when I had my 1v1 duels with him. And then obviously talking a little crap to him during the game. I would say that's probably like was one of the cooler moments for me. I think you didn't ask this, but pinch me moments and like what just happened was like bicycle kicks getting scored. One Cincinnati right in my face. Portland, I think that was the next week. Bicycle kick. Like I think we had like 3 goal of the weeks against us in 4 weeks.
It was a lot.
So yeah, there's a couple like that I think when the other team scores and you just hear the crowd erupt, I'm like pinching myself. I'm like, this like what you kind of have imposter syndrome. You're like, why am I on the field? Like what did I do to because I just like in my eyes, like I mean I went to college, like I'm just a normal guy and I'm getting to live my dream, you know.
Yeah, man, superstar status. What kinds of things are you chirping to the guys on the field? Like Bouanga, like what kind of things are you saying to them?
I mean, probably things I shouldn't say on here. Just get up. Just saying, get up.
Sure.
Yeah. Stop flopping with. Yeah. Stuff like that.
With some profanity, most likely.
Yeah, profanity, but.
Is there any?
It's just heat of the moment, and but it's part of like the gamesmanship. You want to get under the skin, and it's some of these top guys. It's kind of funny because it's working a little bit. I didn't expect it to work because in college it didn't work that well, but these guys, I don't know, they get very mad, and then I just start smiling, and it's fun. Yeah.
Is there anyone who gives it back to you that you didn't expect? Like you started chirping at them and they came right back, and you're like, "Whoa, okay."
Klaus was coming back, which, yeah, I was the things I was saying more to him were not like profanity, but like because obviously I'm from St. Louis, so I know the fans until he just scored this hat trick. I know the fans don't like him. So with him, I mean, I'll tell you guys. I guess I said it's kind of funny because the whole fan base hates you. I don't know if I should be saying that on the podcast, but that's one of the chirps I said.
Amazing.
Expert talk.
And it hurts because it's true.
Yes, that's the thing. The amount of, and I know it because I know people that are like I know the fans. I know a ton of people that are fans of St. Louis, and I don't think they've said one good thing about him. I think maybe now with the hat trick, but
that helps.
But no,
Sure.
He is a very tough player to play. He's a very good player.
He's intense.
But yeah, I just thought that was a funny chirp because being from St. Louis, like I know a bunch of the fans. But so yeah. And he doesn't like me very much.
It's funny because some of the best, like you think, going back to the NBA briefly, some of the best players of all time are some of the most legendary shit talkers. Like Kevin Garnett, he's just like known for like he just say crazy stuff on the court. So you're following in good footsteps.
Yeah, I got to tone it down a little bit, but it does. I feel like I play better when I'm fired up,
bro.
No,
then don't tone it down. Like keep it up.
I've obviously never played at the level that you're playing at, but I feel like the people that we most hear about who have this like personality that shines through are often like the number 10s, the number 9s, the star attackers. Like it feels like it's a little bit more unusual for a center back who a lot of times you don't hear like the center back's names unless there's a mistake. So how did you cultivate that and keep it as part of your personality, playing a position that is oftentimes a little bit more under the radar?
I think I've always been someone who's been like kind of out there. Like, I mean, you can tell I like to talk. I let my personality show. I don't really hide things, if that makes sense. So I think on the field, like getting people excited, like I said, I like to make people laugh. Like getting people excited is big for me. So like when I make like a big play against Dallas, like blocking one off the line, like that is so exciting for me. and yeah, the getting the fans involved, talking crap, like I know that gets the fans into it. So that, I mean, that's at the end of the day, I mean, we want to win, and then second, I want the fans to enjoy it and kind of feel like they're a part of it as well. I mean, I think when Acosta was talking crap, they were yelling short, like that's, to me, I hear that and I'm like laughing inside. Like I'm like, this is amazing. I wish I was in the stands chanting that with you guys.
Man, you even make your way up into the attack sometimes, man. It looks like you're getting a little hungry for a goal soon.
Yeah, I think it's been long overdue, a goal. I need to get one on one of these corners. But yeah, against like Lloris taking a shot from 30 out, that was pretty cool. I mean, World Cup winner, forcing a save out of World Cup winner. That's, if I would have scored that, I think I would have retired on the spot. But,
Do you score a lot in training in situations?
it's funny. Day before game, we do some small sided, just kind of a fun game, get loose, and I play winger in those games. So
Hell yeah.
I score, assist, and it's kind of funny because obviously I never do that in the game.
That's the best.
This season obviously has been interesting for a number of reasons. It didn't necessarily go how it was envisioned before the season started, but I feel like when things like that happen, it can bring the team together and they can get closer through like these challenges. And this team's interesting because there's a mix of some veteran guys like Shallowy or Eric Tommy, or even Dayon, who's been in the league for a few years, and then some of the younger guys like yourself. So how do you feel like this team has sort of coalesced and gotten closer through the adversity of this season?
Yeah, I think it's definitely, I mean, with the coaching change, obviously going through some adversity on the field, I mean, you have to be close because you have to be there for each other if we want to be successful. And yeah, having people like Daniel, Eric, Dayon, who have been in this league and know what it takes to succeed, just being able to lean on them in moments like this, because I mean, they've seen it all. I mean, I'm sure Daniel, Eric, they've seen ups and downs. Dan's seen an MLS Cup. So we have, there's nobody on the team that hasn't been through something that we've been through. And so yeah, it's good to be able to lean on each other. And like I ask a lot of questions like, hey, I'm seeing this. Why am I seeing this? Or why am I feeling a way about this? Like, could I help? And that's something that's very cool about this team is the top guys on the team, or the older guys, like they're very open to talking to the younger guys and helping us. And I think that's going to be huge for the second part of the season to be successful.
That's awesome for sure. One guy on the roster who it seems like it's a really good thing to have him on your side is Shapi Suleimanov. And I've heard that Shapi, just like in training and like off the field, is just like the nicest guy. And then it feels like a flip switches when he's on the field and he's just like this engine, Tasmanian devil that never stops. You're a high energy guy, it feels like on the field, he's taunted the St. Louis fans a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that from a player like Shapi, and do you feed off of each other as you see other guys who are just as passionate as you are about it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he is the nicest guy off the field. Like literally, I don't think there's anybody nicer on the team. But yeah, on the field, like seeing him do that to the St. Louis fans, seeing him get into it, like he cares. Like, and I think it's cool with this team. Like, obviously, there's been the results that haven't been there, but like our team cares. It's not like we lose and it's like, oh, like on to the next. Which I mean, obviously, they're part of it. You have to, but this team really does care, and we want to win. And it hurts us when we lose because we know how much energy, I mean, we put into it, the fans put into it. So yeah, I think that's when we show that passion on the field. It's because we care. And I mean, we're having fun out there. So yeah.
You mentioned, I mean, it's tough not to like just say on to the next one though, because these games come boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fast, but like, surely there's a moratorium period, right? Surely the team commiserates like what, 24 hours or something? What would you say?
Yeah, 24 hours. Yeah, I mean, here, like you said, it's tough. We play Wednesday and then 2 days of training and we play Saturday. So it's tough, but yeah, it's pretty quick.
Right on.
Got just a couple more real quick ones for you before we let you go here. I have to ask, since you're from St. Louis and now you live in Kansas City, are there any go-to like restaurants, food spots? Like what's your go-to spot in Kansas City?
My go-to spot, I like Modern Market Eatery. I think it's in Prairie Village.
Okay.
I DoorDash it. That's all. I don't know exactly where it is. I've a bit of an issue with that. North Italia Q30. Wait, what's the bar? Q30.
39.
I always get the number mixed up. Q39 is unbelievable. Those were probably the three that I get the most. There's some Mexican places around me. I live in Lenexa, so there's a couple Mexican places that I like around there.
Have you been recognized out and about yet?
No, but I did have the World Cup kickoff party that was yesterday.
Yeah.
That was cool because it was like all soccer fans. So I'm walking into the place and like all these people are recognizing me. So that was pretty cool. And I haven't been recognized in the open. I'm not that cool yet. but yeah, no, it's cool.
Dude, you are pretty cool. We talk about you all the time on here and how we're just enjoying watching you game after game. And obviously you have a long career ahead of you, just getting started. But there's been people who have said things like, we may have found our next Beasler. What does that do to a young guy like you, man? How does that feel?
I mean, it feels great. I mean, he's a legend, and I would die to have a career like he did. But yeah, I think it's cool because I know how much he means to Kansas City and sporting. So like having the fans say that makes me feel really good because like, I mean, I would love to be that. I would die to have my career here for the next 10 years. Like that'd be amazing. So yeah, it's very cool. I guess the right answer is to be like, oh, I want to create my own path, you know, but no, I can't not say that is very cool because, and I also have like a relationship with him. We've met a couple times for coffee and just, I want to have that career. So I want to know what he did as a young player like me to get to where he is. Cause I just want to learn and nobody better to learn from than him.
And would love to sit in on that coffee date. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. French Market's where it happens. So
Nice.
I heard that's good.
It's
Center
cool.
back, 8th pick overall, played college in Indiana. I think you're following in his footsteps pretty well because he was the exact same thing. 8th overall pick to Kansas City, playing at Notre Dame, center back. So
it's funny. I saw that. I'm like, it's got to mean something. Like it is kind of funny how that works.
it's pretty cool. Well, Jansen, we have taken up enough of your time on this very hot day, so hopefully you can go get some water and cool off. But we really appreciate you joining us. It's been so much fun watching you in your first year here in Kansas City, and hopefully many, many more years to come here. Thank you so much, and hope everything keeps going well for you.
Of course. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What a great dude, man. Like he was saying things like, oh, I don't know if I should say that on here. I'm like, fucking say it. Well, I mean, if it's going to get you in trouble, I understand. Don't say it. But like, we don't care.
Yeah.
Like, share the goods, man. So it's pretty wild to tell someone that the whole fan base hates you.
When he said that, I was like, that's crazy.
That's a crazy thing, dude. I mean, it really does have notes of like, mom says you're adopted, little things like that. It's just, cause that's gotta mess with you as a player. Like, damn, do they really? Like, that's a bomb you plant in someone's brain, and it doesn't hit them at the time, but they think about it later.
Yeah, it grows. It's a little seed, and 3 weeks later, when he misses that shot, he's gonna be like, damn, the fan base hates me.
And shouts to his parents, dude, for being like, all right, canceling tickets, buying jerseys, just a whole thing.
Jansen laid down the law. He's like, I'm giving you my jerseys to my friends, and if you come in a St. Louis shirt, we're not getting a picture. Absolutely not.
And someone did. And I'm like, okay, well, that he's out of the friend group.
Right.
Like, that's
Gone.
an obvious thing.
But it's just we've seen the passion from him on the field, and it's really cool to see it translate into a podcast setting. It's fascinating to hear it translate to like trash talking other players. It's not something I'd ever considered. You hear like the NBA, we talked about it with him a little bit. There's like legendary trash talkers like, Kevin Garnett or Draymond Green or whatnot. And Draymond goes beyond just trash talking. But like the mics are so close to the court in the NBA that sometimes you hear it. In soccer, you don't really hear it all that much. And I've never considered that, oh yeah, defenders are probably shit talking attackers all the time. It's just not something that's ever really I've thought about. And it's so fascinating to hear how it works on the field.
Oh, 100%, dude. I'm very happy for him for getting the amount of playing time he's gotten. Because as we said, that doesn't happen.
No.
It's very cool. And he's every game he does something where I'm just like, Jansen Miller, yes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hell yes.
Yeah.
And I hope he keeps it up, man. This obviously we've had a long break, and now we get to transition into a double game week.
Well, it kind of is a lesson for, especially if there are young players out there, where you should never sort of assume that what the situation is going to be like. Oh, if you're third or fourth on the depth chart, you never know what's going to happen, where suddenly you may be thrust into a position where no matter what sport you're playing, now you're the starter and this is your opportunity. And it was even fascinating from like a sports psychology perspective to hear him think he had that Portland game and then he thought his career was over. He's like, well, that's it. I'm done. I'm a young player. I made that mistake. I'm never playing again. And to have a coach like Kerry who can be like, no, hold on. You're supposed to be here. You're here for a reason. Yeah, that was a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do that again. But here's all the good things you do. That's awesome to hear.
Very much so. Kerry doesn't give up, dude. Like, and Kerry, didn't necessarily draft him, but how about getting that call from Peter, dude, and then not having
just
not really giving the reaction that Peter was probably expecting, and just going, well, are you excited?
I would shit my pants if they called me and then he was like, "Are you even? Do you care?"
Yeah,
you're like, "Yes, sir.
I care at all."
And clearly he can.
It's massive. I mean, top 10, bro. Come on.
Yeah. Well, especially if that's not what it's like the opposite of Shedeur Sanders, where everyone was thinking, oh, he's top pick, goes 5th round. He's like, I'm not even watching the draft yet because there's no way I'm getting picked yet. And suddenly you get a call and you're like, hey, we're picking you. That's crazy.
It's pretty cool. I'm glad he's one of us, man. I'm glad he was so gracious with his time to come on here. So
yeah, he's going to be a fun one to watch. I hope he's in a sporting shirt for many, many years to come. He's got all the potential in the world to be a feature great here at this club.
Yes.
So. And now we do move on because Sporting does have 2 games this week, like you talked about. They are 2 home games back-to-back Wednesday night and then Saturday night, Wednesday, welcoming Eastern Conference team Charlotte FC to Kansas City. And then Saturday night, the hated RSL team makes their way to Kansas City. Charlotte, they are decent. They are a team that can score some goals. They've scored 29 goals on the year. They're sitting 9th in the East, but they've allowed 29 goals on the year. Kansas City, obviously, we've scored 28, allowed 35. So this has the potential to be, a multi-goal game on both sides. What are you thinking about this one?
It's tough to think much, man. I think it's time to bounce back, though. I mean, we're at home again. Gotta take care of business.
Yeah.
I think this, what better time than to read Chip's little write-up that he just sent in to me this morning. So Sporting KC hosts Charlotte this Wednesday, coming off a bit of a breather from that after that match against Dallas on June 14th. Charlotte is currently sitting at 9th in the East with 25 points on the season compared to SKC's 16 points while sitting at 13th in the West. It is important to note, though, that Charlotte have struggled on the road this season. Despite their overall 8-1-9 record, they've gone 2-1-7 away. Among all teams in MLS, Charlotte has the 5th fewest points per game while away this season. Sadly, this doesn't mean we're magically guaranteed a win on Wednesday, especially since Sporting has gone 2-2-4 this season at home. We will also be short exactly one Kyrie Shelton, who has started our last 3 matches and had some good defensive output. In terms of recent matches, SKC is sitting at 1 point per game in the last 5 matches, compared to Charlotte's 1.2. Sadly, Sporting has also currently brought itself into the worst spot with the most goals allowed per game while at home of any team in MLS, sitting at 2.25. Only slightly beating out Montreal for that worst spot. This feels like a game which is a winnable one for us, but we just need to see some good execution. I also have Salt Lake stuff when we're ready for it. So, what do you think of all that, man? I was unaware until I read this that we had the worst goals allowed per game at home. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
I don't love that. That's not what you want to hear.
No.
The thing with this defense is just, we've had shutouts and it's been great. And then we have, games where we allow 5 goals and there's so much of it comes from set pieces. That's the thing I keep going back to, is if we can stop giving up set pieces and silly penalties and whatnot, then that goals allowed goes down quite a bit. But Charlotte, they've got some dangerous pieces on their team, and this is anybody's game as to what really happens. Should Sporting win at home? Yes. Could this easily be, a 3-1, 3-2 win for Sporting Kansas City? Yes. But could this also go the other way and Charlotte ends up stealing a point or 3 points? It's possible. I mean, it's really hard to say. So, but
yeah.
I don't think I've seen Charlotte play in person. Is this the first time that we've had them play at Children's Mercy Park?
Man, that's a great question. I'm not exactly sure on that.
I think it might be. But I don't know. It's interesting. And I don't think they're going to have their leading scorer in the game because Patrick.
You are right, by the way. It's an inaugural meeting against Charlotte FC.
Yeah, and their leading scorer is with the U.S. men's national team currently in the Gold Cup. So they're not going to have Patrick. I'm going to butcher his last name, Agyemang. So that gives Sporting a little bit more hope because once if they don't have their top goal scorer, then that makes it a little bit harder for them to score some goals. But they still do have the likes of Wilfred Zaha, who has played over in the Premier League for a number of years. So, there's still potent attacking pieces that we're going to have to be wary of. So, we'll see.
100%, man. Missing their star striker, though, is a good thing for us.
Good start. So, why don't you give me that Salt Lake write-up that Chip gave you?
Salt Lake, man, but no rest for the weary because we host Real Salt Lake on Saturday. Salt Lake is within striking distance of SKC, sitting at 12th in the West and only 2 points above SKC. Depending on how Wednesday goes against Charlotte, we could even be above RSL when they come to Children's Mercy Park. At the same time, RSL doesn't have a Wednesday game, so they'll be operating on fresh legs. In terms of their current string of play, RSL is just below Sporting with only 0.8 points per game in their last 5, but their last match was a 2-0 win against DC United, so we'll have to see what kinds of rotations we're able to throw together for that match. Given that the MLS season is over 50% done, SKC should be feeling the heat to get points where there are points to be won. Dropping games now as we get later into the season, especially against teams which are also below that playoff line, will leave the team and the fan base down in the dumps. Every team around that playoff line will be fighting tooth and nail for those points like a real-life version of Hungry Hungry Hippos. Just remember, even though SKC is in 13th place now, we're only 5 points away from the 9th seed. Buckle up.
Anything can happen.
Anything's possible, Kevin Garnett.
It's very possible that Sporting could claw their way back into a playoff position. Is it likely? I don't know necessarily, but again, a team like Salt Lake, they're 2 points ahead of Sporting Kansas City in the table. This is a big game. So if Sporting can get 6 points from these next 3 games, then after these couple of games, we might be in a situation where they're only 1 or 2 points out of that 9th playoff spot. So this is a big couple of games for Sporting Kansas City. I feel like we say that every week, but we've also talked about that this home stretch. I mean, this is the season for Sporting Kansas City. You make up a big gap and you're right around that 9th or 10th spot when this home stand ends, you got a shot. If you haven't made up any points and you're still 5 or 6 points out of that 9th spot by the time this home stand ends, that's probably it then.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I feel you.
but it's going to be hot. Last I looked, there was chances of rain or storms over the next handful of days. So just make sure that if you're going out to the games, you're bringing the right clothes, you're drinking lots of water, you're staying hydrated, because we don't want anybody to get sick or whatnot because of the weather out there. But it should be a fun soccer week, man. Gold Cups continuing to happen. 2 sporting games. Obviously, the Current are on their break right now in the midseason, but lots to be excited about for sure.
100%.
And again, huge shout out to Jansen Miller for coming on and talking with us. Just absolutely love talking to the guy. We could have talked to him for another half hour, 45 minutes, an hour. There's lots more to talk to him about. I'm sure we'll have him on again in the future to talk more. So, you got anything else for our good listeners this week?
Man, I don't think so. Just can't stress enough how great Jansen was. So thank you to everyone over there for making that happen.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you all so much for listening. Make sure you leave us that 5-star rating and review. Let us know who you'd like us to get on in the future if we do more interviews, which we will at some point. Make sure you follow us on social at NoOtherPod, at Dan Kooser, at JCMac03. Shoot us an email, nootherpod@gmail.com, or check us out on YouTube at KCSN Soccer or via the Kansas City Sports Network app. But until next time, he's Dan. I'm Jimmy. We'll catch y'all later. See ya.
That whole fan base hates Klaus.